So, when something gets popular, a lot of people start talking about it. It gets overhyped, it gets brought up about all the time, and eventually people get sick of it. Now, this is when it hits the height of its popularity, there's normally something such as, oh, I don't know, a parody, an homage, something of that caliber. Something to really poke holes in the genre that's made. These two shows, I believe, are really good examples of that. My Hero, at the end of the day, loves comic books. There's no doubting that. There's no changing that. It loves comics through and through. And The Boys doesn't. I'm just messing with you. Obviously, the guy who wrote it, he has his favorites. He likes Superman, he likes Wonder Woman, he likes Batman. But apart from that, he does not like other heroes. He really doesn't like Captain America. We know that for a fact. But, but, it still comes across as the height of these characters, and you see the similarities between them. And today, with all the similarities between these two shows, oddly enough, we're taking the two speedsters. That is Tenya Iida and A Train. Now, we're going to be looking at their speed, their power, and any sort of abilities they have that will help them in this fight. Now, let's start off with A Train. Yes, that is right. So, A Train should scale to almost every single mutant in The Boys, or every single soup, as they like to be called. Now, what does that mean? That means that he should be able to recreate and withstand some of the feats that we have seen others withstand, obviously, such as Black Noir and Homelander being able to withstand a chemical plant exploding in their faces. Well, when diving into it, we were able to find out that that came out to around 43 tons of TNT, or in other words, it's over 47 times stronger than the V1 flying bomb used by a certain military that we will not talk about. Now, I did just bring up power. One thing, though, is, well, they're known for their speed. And thankfully, they're not lacking in that department. So, once again, A Train is stated one of the strongest soups, and he's even stated to be the fastest of all soups. Meaning, he should outscale Homelander. Homelander was able to outspeed an explosion. An explosion, meaning that at highballed, he is able to move around 18.2 Mach. Now, for reference, that is 3 times faster than the fastest jet ever created. It's so suffice to say, when he says he's fast, he is fast. Now, let's go over any sort of abilities. Well, he can temporarily inject himself with Compound V, meaning that he can, again, temporarily boost his abilities. However, it does cause heart problems. So it is unlikely to be consistent. And on top of that, that's not in his standard arsenal. So the likelihood of him having the foresight or the luck, I guess you could say, to bring that into a match is highly unlikely. Also, due to his very arrogant and showboaty personality and love of the attention, he would not want to be caught with an illegal substance in his pants. So yeah, suffice it to say, Temp V will most likely not see its placement in this debate today. However, he is a skilled fighter and most likely has received training from VOT themselves, meaning that as egotistical as he is still a competent fighter and should be taken seriously. Speaking of serious, let's talk about the one of the most serious men in Class 1A. I'm talking about Tenya Iida. Now, starting off, Tenya is relatively strong. I believe he is one of the stronger members of Class 1A. Now, I do not believe he's up there with Midoriya. He's not like shattering moons. He's not multi-continent. Like, he's not He's not at that level. However, we know for utmost certainty that he does outscale 5% Deku. Why is that important? Well, Deku at the beginning of his career in crime fighting was able to produce a Delaware Smash equaling to around 102 tons of TNT or multi-city block level. To put into perspective how incredibly strong that feat is, it is over 2 times stronger than the father of all bombs. Yes, that is right. Iida's kicks are hitting you with even stronger attacks than some bombs. Alright. But, as much as he is a tank, he is best described as a tank with the jet engines. Now, what does that mean? That means that we have to go to his best and only speed calc. That is when he saves Todoroki from the Hero Killer Stain. Why is this important? Well, as you can probably guess, this clocks in incredibly fast, leading it to hit around Mach 7. Now, to put into perspective, that's twice as fast as the SR-71 Blackbird, which hits speeds of Mach 3.4. However, it doesn't stop there. He is a speedster after all. And while I did say prior, he doesn't fully scale to Deku, he should scale to at least some past variations. Well, in the third movie, during which are canon, by the way, he was able to react to lasers. Of course, speaking of Midoriya. Midoriya was able to react to lasers, which calcs him in at 65% the speed of light. Pretty impressive, right? Does Iida scale to this? Yes, I believe he does. Why is that? Well, 65% Midoriya in the training arc, or no. Okay, so the movie itself takes place during the Endeavor Agency, which predates the Paramount War, meaning that obviously this is a much weaker Deku. And keep in mind, this is Deku at 65% speed, or 65% of One For All. So, saying that not final form, but Iida at his max capability, his max speed, everything, the final form of Iida would most likely scale to this as well. So, that is what we have for Iida. Now, who do I think will win? Well, if you've been paying attention to the stats, you will see that Iida stomps him in every single way. Now, a lot of you may be wondering how he would perform if A-Train had Compound V. And I know this feat is going to get brought up. A-Train apparently was able to dodge make Starlight's light-based beams look slow. However, that is a very contentious topic and therefore is not really used here. On top of that, there are no real statements. So while I would love to have this feat, it is simply put lackluster in the grand scheme of things and does not have any sort of evidence to back it up. And getting on point, even if you do lowball Iida and say that he is only as fast as his Season 2 self, it is still within reason, since no matter which way you slice it, Iida will be physically stronger than A-Train, meaning that he will consistently be able to take more hits at a more frequent rate. However, compare that to A-Train, who most likely will be injured or even killed if Iida lands a sufficient blow. Now, how does that happen, though, if you are taking into account? Because if that's the case, then, well, A-Train is faster. However, I may not have stated this prior. Iida can go into Recipro Burst. Sorry, I'm horrible with pronunciation. Leading to him being able to, perform even greater speed feats. What does that mean? Well, that means that, he's able to increase his speed dramatically, meaning he might be able to keep up with A-Train even if you lowball Iida. Now, what does that mean exactly? That means exactly that the relative even in this lowballed aspect. So then it comes down to skill. And while I was hyping up A Train as this very as a skilled fighter, at the end of the day, he is an arrogant, lackluster combatant when it comes to people of his own level. Keep in mind, soups don't fight soups. That is a rare occurrence until the events of the boys. Meaning that A Train dealing with beings on his level is highly unlikely compared to Iida, who not only is living in the world of MHA and becoming a hero, which does imply fighting villains, it also means, based on his background that we discovered in season 2 as his, very wealthy and, very what is the right word? Right, uptight family. he is he is under an incredible amount of pressure. Even if they're not necessarily saying it, he feels that. Meaning, he trains every day. And to put in perspective how determined he was willing to rip off the engines in his leg in order to have them regrow faster and stronger. So, most likely, he will and has been through sufficient training and true combat experience, meaning that regardless of this low ball, he still most likely will be able to anticipate and capitalize on his better durability and attack potency to beat A Train once again. However, I do understand that this line of scaling is very contentious for these two, as these two characters do not perform the primary feats stated here. However, I believe it is disingenuous to say that, it's that you can fully deny what has been shown on screen. However, I am not perfect. If you guys think that there is something wrong with the video or a calculation is off, or you even don't like, I don't know, you don't like me using Deku's Delaware Smash and you would have preferred Todoroki's Ice Piercing Heaven or something of that nature, I would be more than welcome for you guys to tell me in the comments, and I'll take that point into account. Anyway, I know I've been rambling for a while, but it's safe to say that A Train versus Iida is not close. And now that I've answered the question you've all been wondering, I'll bid you guys farewell. Have a good day, everybody.